Alright, Aries, let's get into your collective reading for any and all Aries placements. This collective reading is not just for you watching here. This is for a bunch of other people that could be watching in the present and future times. So please always allow to take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If you understand your birth chart and all that stuff, feel free to see where Aries lies in your birth chart and see what this reading could mean for you. Like I always say, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I ain't trying to, look, I grabbed the no bullshit deck, and that's how all my decks, function. How I would like them to function. No bullshit. I ain't trying to make anyone believe in their own bullshit, because sometimes believing in your own bullshit holds you back. You gotta be honest with yourself. Life's tricky. Clear, honest message for Aries. What do they got going on? What do they need to know? 8 of Wands came out here. Ooh. I want you to notice the older gentleman in this card on the right-hand side. It's almost like he brought these people together, this, like, I would say band of brothers, but this communal hearth fire, it says on the card. Because it says 8 of bows, which bows are wands. 8 of wands, hearth fire. Knight of Vessels, which is also Knight of Cups. Eel. It represents eel energy. An 8 of Pentacles. Skill. 9 of Pentacles. Tradition. I think you're trying to find the truth in the traditions with yourself. Now, when we talk about traditions with the self, it essentially becomes I'm trying to best describe it for myself. A tradition for me, per se, is anytime I find a song I like, and if I hear it out in public, I just want to do a little, like I do a little dance. Like, I just want to dance. Like, that is my thing, that is my jam, that's what I do. That's who I am, that's what I do. There's parts of people where in our lives we do things, it's like, that's who I am, that's what I do. The truth to that, because maybe sometimes we see things that's what I am, that's what I do. It can be what you do, but maybe it's not fully what you are. Maybe it's a part of you and there's more to explore about you that I don't know if you've been giving yourself credit in exploring. I think there is a huge impact when you give yourself credit in exploring who you are and the depths of, like, yourself. I think the big thing for a lot of people is when it comes to the life you want to live, we all want it to look like the 8 of Wands with all these happy-go-lucky people around us and this good time. And in reality, a successful life could also look like that and look like this at the same time, where we are comfortable and okay with our own solitude, happy and successful in our own solitude. Not necessarily needing to be single or being alone, But success in solitude is success with being comfortable with the self. Being comfortable with yourself. Because when you are single, I feel you are the only person I feel like you have to care for, but for a lot of single people, especially during the summertime, because I've just been seeing this recently during the summertime, there's always the I'm gonna go out and like find love, summer of love, for some single people, and there's always the catch and the cliche of how much have you been loving yourself in order to love on somebody else. Like, you have to genuinely love yourself in order to love others. And some people, I feel like, get halfway there, but they think that they've fallen in love with themselves, but they've only fallen in love with the surface level self. There's a lot more to the root underneath all the surface level stuff. So, 8 of Wands, Knight of Cups, 8 of Pentacles for you, Aries. You, I think, been slipping by these feelings whenever you are working or going to work on certain things that you choose to do because you want to do. There's such a pull towards expression that I think is just expressing who you are and what you want to do, even if it's not like exactly what you're into right now or what you think that you're into. Because I feel like this is where it gets into partially discrediting the soul and how you choose to like things. I think there's an area of, I really like this, I like how it looks, I like that. And I think this is where sometimes we forget that the thing we like is only the surface level part of it, and then we actually get into this thing and discover all of the roots that are really like tough and gritty and just like could be like this super cute small plant with this giant root underneath that's gotta be like specifically taken care for and put in this type of soil. And speaking of, I think it's hydrangeas. Depending on the acidity level of the soil that they are planted in, they can be different colors. It's a type of flower. They can be different colors depending on the what's the word? It's like acidity levels and pH levels of the soil. It affects it, and I think that's where it's like too much work for you. And it's okay if you think it's too much work for you, because that's when we realize, oh, we can essentially leave it up to somebody else. We can provide more open opportunity for, oh, hey, let's say, I mean, honestly, the biggest example and easiest example I can give right now, the easiest example, sorry, OBS is doing some weird stuff right now. I think OBS is okay. The recording for this is gonna be okay. So, the live stream may not be okay, but I know the recording's gonna be okay. So I'm just gonna keep going. This is where I really wanted specific emotes for my stream. I really, really wanted specific emotes for my stream. And hold on. I went ahead and just said, screw it, let's just buy emotes. I had ideas that I wanted to make my own emotes, but I knew I didn't have the time to get these emotes exactly how I wanted them to look, and to look like appealing, and how like kind of appealing to the eye of how I wanted it to look. There's a type of emote I wanted, and then it was like making it actually visible in the emote size, because making an emote because it's so small is really 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 frustrating and tough. One second. Oh, I spelled that wrong. That is okay. There's a sense to like, hey, I like that. I want to do that. I want to pursue that. But maybe it's best to just leave it up to somebody else to even like help you make the thing you want, or even teach you how to do the thing that you want to do. It's okay to have this energy to want to do it on your own. But I think this is where it gets kind of tricky to deal with. Oh, well, it's not that you can't do it on your own. It's maybe it doesn't necessarily work out in this moment. It's not going to mess up your flow of things. Like, there is an energy of, hey, things could be complicated right now, but it's not going to actually like fully interrupt how you want to go about your life. Because the Knight of Cups is like this fluid, going with the flow kind of energy. And this is where we are going to get into clarification here. I'm just trying to fix some things on my end. Clarifying the Eight of Wands is the Death card. I just need to check one thing. Excuse the interruptions. Hello. Oh god, thank god that didn't fall. Okay. Clarifying the Eight of Wands is the Death, the Ten of Swords, and the Ace of Cups. This is where shit gets really tricky. I'm going to try my best to explain it here. You have a level of acceptance with the Death card. And if you've taken that level of acceptance, there is an obvious pouring and releasing of emotion and just accepting, like pouring out this, I'm just accepting things are the way they are. And then some of you feel like you're doing this to almost think that you're ignoring what you're feeling, but not exactly. The Ace of Cups is like, I'm going to put this down because it's like in the past, done, dealt with, it's over. And I think there's a level of like almost ignorance, I want to say. Because it's not over entirely. It's over in, yeah, it's the situation's over, but the feelings that you have to discover about it may not be over quite yet. Clarifying the Knight of Cups is the Page of Swords, Seven of Pentacles, and Four of Wands reversed. Page of Swords, Seven of Pentacles, and Four of Wands. Sorry, they're not all reversed. Just the Page of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles are reversed. You strive to see growth in yourself, but this is only when you feel like you're not pursuing growth. So I feel like anytime you want to pursue growth, you're like, am I doing it? Am I doing it? Well, if you're asking yourself if you're growing, but all you're doing is standing there sitting still, no, you're not growing, but you can be. So if you kind of get the ball rolling on, hey, what genuinely makes you happy? Like, you gotta find yourself before you deal with any kind of healing. I think this is a key thing for Aries, is finding yourself, because that's all that the Aries energy is really about. It's not in an egotistical sense, it's just you are true to yourself, and I think there's parts of you that you haven't been expressing fully and that need to be expressed, because the Four of Wands shows up as, hey, you forgot about part of us, Aries. You forgot about this thing that we genuinely wanted to grow, that we were actually creating some like headway and direction towards, and it almost feels like you got washed up in the ocean of a storm, and now you are like on the completely other side of like this one ocean, and you don't even know how you got here, kind of a thing, but you were just kind of riding the waves. And while it could have been fun or it could have been a little scary, there was losing your sense of direction, because I think things got cloudy and stormy. Because life gets very hectic and chaotic, and we can lose our sense of direction in like the simplest forms. So where do we put our direction? When we find ourselves, where do we put this true strength in direction? Into the healing. I feel like this is becoming such a quick message, because Knight of Cups came out twice. King of Swords on the bottom of the deck. Clarifying the Eight of Pentacles for you, Aries, is the Three of Swords, the Lovers, and the Knight of Cups. You need to choose this healing for yourself once you've discovered yourself. Are you growing? Are you growing once you've discovered yourself? Well, why not step in the direction of growth? Why not actually take that opportunity to grow? Lovers is a choice to love yourself and even heal yourself. Not just recognize all the good, but understand that you can break through all of the bad. Whatever you feel like is the bad parts of you. Sometimes even just thinking bad about ourselves is the bad thing. We may not be bad people, but we're just thinking negatively, and that is the inherently judgmental thing that you are doing to yourself here. King of Swords is very cutthroat, but when the King of Swords is feeling clear-minded and sure of themselves, they know exactly when to strike and when the perfect like prime opportunity is. I think you are discovering this like perfect prime opportunity in healing, and I really want you to explore that with your whole heart. But the biggest advice that is the clearest as day, and I don't even need to discuss anything of the past here, is finding yourself, your heart. The heart is the biggest thing that I think you're scared to go near because you have a lot of Three of Swords energy tied up into it. And if you want to understand your true self, you got to understand all of it. So, I'm gonna end this reading here because I'm getting this is short and sweet, and it's kind of perfect because I have something I need to take care of here. So thank you for letting me read your cards. I don't need you to look at any more tarot readings at all. I think you need to open up to yourself and be real here. There's no other way I need to discuss that other than say it as it is. And I think some readings end up being like that. Listen, some readings are shorter than others, some readings are longer than others. This is that short and sweet, you know what to do. You got to open up to that heart and that home that maybe has had some hurt in it. So, allow yourself to open up to yourself, Aries. You're doing great, but you just got to give yourself a little extra credit here in what you love and what you like to do, what you choose to do, what makes you feel truly within yourself and your solitude. So, that's all I have for you. Thank you for being here, Aries. If anyone's watching on Twitch, we are not ending yet, but we were just ending the YouTube recording. So if you're watching on YouTube, thank you for being here, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.